China's top political advisory body, the China's People's Political Consultative Conference, has begun its meetings. It's the first part of the annual 2 sessions, and all eyes are on plans to support growth in the world's second largest economy. Meetings are taking place at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, attended by President Xi Jinping and other top brass. China's parliament, the National People's Congress, will kick off its annual session tomorrow. For more, CNA's Olivia Siong joins us. She's live for us from Beijing. Ollie, China's legislature has held a news conference ahead of the opening of the National People's Congress. Relations with the rest of the world, they're in focus. Can you tell us more?
That's right, Dawn. Typically these annual political meetings, which are the most important for China every year, are focused very much on the domestic audience, especially this year, given the challenges that are plaguing China's post-pandemic recovery. But today, at this wide-ranging news conference with the spokesperson of China's top legislature, the National People's Congress, we've got a glimpse into how China is thinking about its relations with the rest of the world. Of course, in focus is the China-US relationship, which has been troubled in the last few years, but has recently seen improvement given the step up in engagements between the two sides. And the spokesperson in particular was asked about whether the outcome of the upcoming US presidential election will affect Sino-US relations moving forward, given that it looks like there's going to be a rematch with US President Joe Biden and his predecessor, Donald Trump. But the spokesperson maintained a neutral position, saying that China does not hold a position on that, maintaining that the election is an internal affair for the US and that no matter who becomes president, that China hopes the US will work with it to develop stable bilateral relations. Now, we also got to pose a question related to China's foreign policy to the spokesperson, asking him about tensions in the South China Sea and perhaps in a veiled swipe to the US and the West amid recent skirmishes between China and the Philippines in those disputed waters. The spokesperson said that China will continue to safeguard its territorial sovereignty and maritime rights, and that it's opposed to bloc confrontation and small circles. But, even though we got to hear about foreign relations today, going into tomorrow's session, we are expecting the opening of the first session of the National People's Congress, and then all eyes will be on China's economy and that government work report that will be delivered by the Chinese Premier Li Qiang. It will be his first time delivering this report that will be closely watched for China's policy steps ahead and how it intends to steer the country forward amid the challenges that are plaguing China's economy, whether it's with its property sector or weak consumer demand. This also being the first time that Premier Li is delivering his address since taking up the position last year following a 5-yearly government reshuffle. All eyes will be on what sort of GDP target will be set by the government, how ambitious will it be, and what sort of stimulus measures will follow to see whether China can meet its goals for the year ahead. Dawn?
All right, Ollie, thank you very much for that update. Olivia Siong there in Beijing.